Manx Radio Sports, brought to you by the Pritchard.
Abbey Hey numbers flooding forward now as Dunford with a little short pass back into the feet of Riley Nixon. Nixon forced back a couple of yards to Dawson, now operating inside the FCLM half. Dawson whips that into the centre, looks for Njine, who does get a head on it, but it comes off the top of his head and all the way out to the Abbey Hey left hand side, right down by the corner flag. It's going to be picked up by Jean Marquez of FCLM. His ball in field to Whitley. Watson looks over the top of the defence. That's an inviting one. Jacob Crook, he's got the running on his man, and that's put it through one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he slots it past Connor Beard. FC Isle of Man 1, Abbey Hey 0. And with one ball over the top, FC Isle of Man have opened up the visitors just past the halfway point of this first half. And it was all from an Abbey Hey attack that came to naught in the end, and a lovely ball forward. It was Jean Marquez picking it up on the right-hand side, down by his corner flag, strode forward around 15 yards, saw the ball over the top of the defence, and Jacob Crook in a running race against Christopher Rogers. Crook had him completely beaten, and that meant that Crook could just bring it down, one-on-one with the goalkeeper Connor Beard, and slotted it home. And that's now 3 and 4 for Jacob Crook in front of goal, and it puts the Ravens in front. 1-0, Tony, the deadlock broken.
He likes that new position, doesn't he, on that left-hand side, because he normally plays left-back, and Rick's moved him up into that left midfield, and, you know, that was a great finish because he cut across the Abbey Hey player, which suddenly took him out, and you could just see him open it up. He put it on his favourite left foot, and the goalkeeper stood no chance. He rounded it. Great finish.
Little end to end in the last 30 to 40 seconds here. Here's Whitley up against Onosanya. Whitley wants to cut in field, does so, gets past one challenge, can't get past the challenge though of Riley Nixon, who steps in. Now Moses Yoke, through ball out to the left hand side, Crawford with a bit of space to turn up the pace up against Carl Watson, cuts in field, Jamal Crawford, nice little through ball into Edmondson, and he tokes it past the goalkeeper, and it's 1-1. Virtually instant response from Abbey Hey. FC Isle of Man 1, Abbey Hey 1. And it's after Steve Whitley lost it on the right-hand side for FC Isle of Man. Moses Yoke releasing Jamal Crawford down the left-hand side. Went through the gears. He managed to turn past the challenge of Carl Watson, cut in field. And it's a wonderfully weighted through ball between the two defenders. Dylan Edmondson, who's looked the brightest, arguably, of the attacking players so far for Abbey Hey between. He timed his run brilliantly. Goalkeeper Vancy just pokes it under Adam Killier and into the back of the net. Great response from the visitors, Tony, all square.
Absolutely brilliant, and Crawford did really well, because I thought he's going to have another bash down here on this left-hand side, but this time he cut into the middle. Alex Maitland was there, Harry Best was there, but he took them two out and played an absolutely superb ball through the middle. It was put on a plate for him and finished off really well, and Adam Killier stood no chance.
Jake Dunford takes it off to Candia as well and looks over the top. Here's Njine with a bit of room, just slips as he brings it down around 35 yards out. Allows Carl Clark to step in and clear it down the right for FC Isle of Man. Another transfer from left to right. We've seen that from both teams quite a few times in this first half. That's going to be the last action of the first half here. All square at the break in the NWCFL Premier Division. FC Isle of Man 1, Abbey Hey 1. It's a game that really stuttered and struggled to get going in the opening 20 minutes with a number of stoppages, and both sides just seemed to work each other out. All of the main action happening in the space of less than 3 minutes. 2 goals, one for either side. Here's Odesanya. Floats it out to the left-hand side. Jamal Crawford up against Harry Best. That's a nice little nutmeg. Wants to feed it around the back, and Njine trying to race away from Jean Marquez, and he does get there on the left edge of the box. And Njine across the penalty area. Oh, and Edmondson, he's missed it completely from 6 yards. Huge chance, and it rolls out for an FC Isle of Man throw-in on FC Isle of Man's left-hand side, Abbey Hay's right. Clearest opportunity we've had so far in this second half by a country mile. And it's a break from an FC Isle of Man set piece down the left-hand side. Jamal Crawford finding Bradley and Njine. Jean Marquez all ends up for pace. Beautiful ball across the 6 yard area. Tony, it was begging to be tapped in, and Dylan Edmondson, already on the score sheet, was there and completely missed it. What a chance.
Absolutely, it was an absolute superb ball, and Edmondson just in a great spot to do it, but just whether it was a little bit too quick for him, I'm not too sure, took his eye off the ball.
Riley Nixon, who wants to feed it across the FC Isle of Man penalty area. Low ball across the 6 yard box. No one in a blue shirt in attendance. A comfortable claim for Adam Killier. Rolls it out to Carl Watson in the centre. Now to Steve Whitley, fizzed out to that right hand side. Short ball in field, inside the FC Isle of Man half to Jean Marquez. Now to his right, Harry Best rifles it through the centre. That's a poor touch from Olasanya into Sean Kelly, and that's been fed into a teammate in Adam Adebayo in the edge of the box. Squares it for Sean Kelly, who puts it into the back of the net. And FC Isle of Man regain the lead. FC Isle of Man 2, Abbey Hey 1. It's an innocuous ball down the right hand side. It seems to come off the boot of Anyola Onosanya. And that deflected it, that took it very fortuitously into the path of Sean Kelly. First time ball round the back of the defence to Adam Adebayo, who's rushing on the right edge of the box. Got his head up, did Adebayo, just squared it to around the penalty spot. Sean Kelly completely unmarked, just had the simple job of just passing it past Connor Beard into the goalkeeper's bottom left-hand corner, Tony. Out of nowhere, FC Alaman retake the lead.
Exactly, and I think Abbey Hey about to make a substitution as well, but really good ball, good by Adam Adebayo up front, and put it on a plate for Sean. And Sean Kelly just right in front of it and had the easiest of places to finish. So it's now hanging on to this one because, they've made substitution. They've tactically changed the game, positions of players there. And FC Alaman 2-1 up now, halfway through this second half.
Here's Marquez. Launched it back forward for FC Alaman. Cleared by Stanier of Abbey Hey. Crawford. Both he and Edmondson getting in each other's way there on the left-hand side. That's allowed Harry Best to step in. Played back to his goalkeeper, Adam Killier of FC Alaman. Cleared through the centre. Into Moses Yoke, who just cushions ahead under no pressure to Crawford on the left-hand side. Quite a half so far for the lively Crawford on the left. But he skipped past the challenge of Harry Best brilliantly there. Clips it across the box. Edmondson, he's just completely scuffed it from 6 yards there. Under a little bit more pressure than the last one he missed. The glaring miss earlier. Head in his hands moment briefly, but Abbey Hey are back on the attack here. Here's Njine. Out to the left-hand side. Promising stuff here for the visitors. Crawford into the centre. Header away powerfully by Alex Maitland as far as Moses Yoke gets it taken off him by Sean Kelly this time. Abbey Hey, good opportunity there down the left-hand side, fed into Dylan Edmondson, and that's a second chance in the half he's had from around 6 yards. He had more players around him this time, but again just completely fluffed his lines with the goal not quite gaping in front of him, but a huge target in front of him. Yeah, it is. It's another opportunity that they've got to try and capitalise on. But I think the game's certainly gone up a gear, Rob, hasn't it? Because, time's starting to run out. So 6.5 minutes of additional time is what we've played, and we're still going. Again, the referee, we've still had no indication of how much second half stoppage time there's meant to have been, so we have nothing to gauge it by. Connor Beard's ball forward. This could be the last attack, or there could be more here. Here's Njine up against Jacob Crook, and Njine can't quite go. He does actually wins that little shoulder tussle between the two of them at the expense of a throw-in. Here come Abbey Hey down the right. Here's Dunford. Looks through the centre. Moses Yoke. Can he try and get on the end of it here? Rogers loops it over the top of the FC Alaman defence. Jacob Crook can only half clear as far as Adam Dawson on the right edge of the box. Dawson wants to clip that into the centre. It's dangerous to the back post. Trying to reach that is Onasanya. Doesn't quite get there. Crawford back across goal. And it's a chance for Aguri. Falls back to the edge of the box. Yoke towards goal. Adam Killier saved to his right. Crawford whipped back into the box. Headed towards goal and off the line. And surely Rogers. And into the back of the net. It's 2-2. Right at the death, FC Alaman 2, Abbey Hey 2, in what is the 7th minute of stoppage time at the end of the second half. FC Alaman absolutely livid at the moment. FC Alaman have a player down as well. A huge goalmouth scramble. It seemed like it just would not go into the back of the net. And it eventually fell to number 5, Christopher Rogers, on the edge of the box after an Adam Killier save, a block on the line, and Rogers through the bodies, it deflects and into the back of the net. 2-2, Tony.
Red card there, Rob.
And who's the red card to, actually, Tony? There is a red card. Is that Alex Maitland?
I'm not too sure. I'm not 100%. Alex Maitland, we'll find out in a minute when he walks out. Yeah, it is. It might be Alex Maitland.
So the FC Alaman captain, Alex Maitland, but obviously we can't hear what's being said. It's probably for the best that we can't. But what an end. Abbey Hey just did not know that they were beaten in this game. We wondered if they'd get another opportunity to get themselves back into the contest. And after some massive pinball inside the FC Alaman penalty area. So FC Alaman seem to be upset that they've had a player down with a possible head injury when Abbey Hey scored that goal. And after the goal was scored, FC Alaman players, a couple of them did surround the referee. And Jacob Widdowson, the referee, he has it sent off the FC Alaman captain, Tony. And that's just completely changed the atmosphere among the home supporters here.
Well, it certainly is, because you're going to lose one of your best players, depends what it's for. But you could see them remonstrating that Steve Whitley was down on the deck. But there was that much going on there. We're concentrating on everything. It was shot after shot after shot. And in the end, it just fell nicely just by the penalty spot. Rogers hit it and into the goal it goes. But you could see that Adam Killier and Alex Maitland both were upset about something. And it just depends what he said.
The goal has been given, and we still don't actually. There seems to be bewilderment in just both sets of dugouts here as to what's gone on. What we do know for certain is that yet again Abbey Hey have clawed themselves back. It's 2-2 right at the death in what was the 7th minute of stoppage time, and that is indeed the last kick of the game. So it has finished all square here at the Bowl in the NWCFL Premier Division. FCL 2, Abbey Hey 2 in some bizarre circumstances.
Manx Radio Sports, brought to you by the Pritchard.